One of the beautiful sights of the holiday season, plants. Dr. Whitney Elmore from Pasco County Cooperative Extension is here to give us care tips for indoor plants and how to plant them after the holidays. Whitney, we love when you are here. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, okay, first things first, poinsettia or poinsettia?
I guess it depends on which side of the Mississippi you're from. It doesn't really matter.
Sorry, had to start with priorities first,
Poinsettia
right?
is what I say.
Okay,
so.
I say that too, so we're going to stick with that for this segment. But joking aside, I mean, when you see a poinsettia, I mean, it truly speaks holidays.
Absolutely. The colors, and they come in so many different colors and even some different shapes on the margins nowadays, especially with UF producing new cultivars every year for the holiday season. And they're great indoor plants, relatively easy to take care of. A lot of people tell me that they have trouble with them, but there's really only three things you need to remember with the poinsettia inside of the house.
Okay.
So number one, temperature. They like to be really no colder than 65 degrees. Then that starts to affect them overall. So these come from a warm climate out of Mexico, so they like warm temperatures. So anywhere, 65 to 80 degrees in the house, they're going to be nice and happy.
That's me too.
Yeah, absolutely, me too. But they also need to be in a very sunny location. Not direct light coming into the house, but, some good sunny locations in the house up against the windowsills, and they'll be very nice and happy. Second thing to remember is watering. They do come from a fairly dry climate, so they don't like to be very moist and soggy. They do need enough water just so that when you touch the top of the soil, it feels moist. Don't let them dry out too much or you might lose your lower leaves down here, the green part are the leaves, and the red part up here that you see are actually called the bracts. So most people refer to these as being the flowers when these are modified leaves up here. So the flowers are small little yellow or whitish nubs that you see. The third thing to keep in mind is fertilization. Indoors, poinsettias, when you pick them up from the store, you don't need to worry about fertilizing. You'll do more harm than good when they're indoors with fertilization. So they're really easy to take care of inside.
Well, here's the kicker. I don't know if you picked up on it. She keeps stressing indoors, indoors, indoors. We love living in Florida for many reasons, and this is one thing I just learned about Florida.
And with poinsettias in our area from Central to South Florida, we usually have a warm enough climate year-round that the poinsettias make for a nice woody perennial that we can plant outside. Just kind of temper them. When the holidays are over and you're ready to start moving them outdoors, put them into a fairly shady location, then start moving them after a couple weeks into part sun, and then finish up in a sunny location after 2 or 3 weeks, because that's where you're going to want to plant them. Just don't plant them any deeper than they are in the soil. Keep them fairly moist, not wet, not too dry. Fertilize starting in March through October, about once a month with a well-balanced fertilizer, and they make for a really nice, pretty addition to the landscape.
Well, we're always, I feel like, running out of time, and this one is huge, though. I've always heard poinsettias are poisonous.
And that's a big misconception. We don't consider them to be edible, but they are non-toxic, they are non-poisonous, but as you see here, they will produce a very milky white sap. Now, this is basically latex, and so some people are very sensitive, as well as pets, to latex, and this might cause some irritation or inflammation where you might get that latex on you. So with the pets, with the kids, anybody that wants to run around munching on the poinsettias, it's not dangerous, but not necessarily a good idea at the same time from the sensitivities. I
said, Whitney even told me she had a professor in college that would eat them to prove that point. So in case you're questioning, I'm not going to make Whitney do that today.
Please don't.
But thank you so much for the information. We always appreciate it.
Thank you so much.